Welcome back to my channel. Dr. Uche here. I am on the ski rink at Breckenridge and I don't have my helmet on. I don't have my goggles because you know me, I'd rather sit on a beach and read a book. But whatever the case, today I am not skiing. I'm waiting for my family to have fun on the ski rink. And I want to review with you what I read recently. I read Wahala by Nikki. Lovely book, loved it. Loved how it talked about straddling cultures. It talked about a mixed race inheritance. Talked about experiences away from home. Talked about so much all in one book. Talked about friendships as well, relationships, and different goals between a couple. How one can want something and the other can want something else, and how that can become a big problem. So before we go ahead, hit subscribe, like, share with your friends, follow my channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. I'm Dr. Uche. I love to review books. I also discuss how to write and publish biographies. So let's dig in. Wahala by Nikki. It's written by a Nigerian British woman, Nikki. And interestingly, it talks about three girlfriends, Boo, Simi, and Ronke. All three of them have a mixed race, Nigerian, European. I think one of them had a European, a Russian mother. Or rather a fourth girl who comes in later had a Russian mother, but the vast majority of them had British mothers and Nigerian fathers. And they, Ronke and Simi, had a rather privileged upbringing in childhood in Nigeria. At least it was like that initially. Later on, the situation changed quite dramatically for Ronke. But after their upbringing, I think they were getting to adulthood when they moved to the UK for university. And that's where they met. Now, Boo, on the other hand, and these are all short forms of Yoruba names. Ronke is identifiably Yoruba. Simi, I'm trying to remember the full name, it's a short form, and Boo is also a short form, both Yoruba names. So they meet at university. Boo, on the other hand, had a rather different upbringing, born and bred in the UK. Actually grew up in Yorkshire, I think is the pronunciation, and grew up with her white British family. Her father absconded from the family, basically dumped her mother once she was pregnant. So I'm not even sure the father ever met her. She never knew him. And so she grows up with this white family in Britain. And that's what she knows. And that's a working class family. And she decides to go to college, which is where she parts with the rest of her family. They're classically working class. These folks didn't go to college. She was actually the oddball out to opt to go to college, but it did her good because from a childhood of not really being comfortable with her identity, wrestling with being the only one in a situation where clearly nobody else was even mixed race or black. All of a sudden she finds herself in a university, which you all know by definition has a lot more mixed, has a lot more diversity, let's put it that way. So she meets Simi and Ronke, and they become really tight friends. And Ronke and Simi, with their privileged Nigerian childhood, are able to teach her how to embrace and actually love this mixed inheritance. You know, from a situation in Yorkshire where she was the only oddball out, from a situation where these other friends grew up in relative privilege in Nigeria. So you can see how meeting them taught her to embrace that mixed race identity, and she started to see it as a strength and not a burden. So these girls are tight friends, and they all have their own journeys. Simi drops out of med school to the absolute horror and annoyance of her Nigerian father, Nigerian Yoruba father. Now, her father is quite a character. He married a third time, I believe, separated from Simi's mom. Now, Simi has a biologic brother, but the father went on to marry other women. And in this book, they particularly focused on, I think, a third wife. And when she dropped out of med school, the father was not happy at all. He was livid. and he cut her off, and she had to start fending for herself. And it was so shocking, she didn't even tell her friends initially. The friends had to discover that on their own along the way. But whatever the case, she had to find a way to make it work without going through that medical degree. And she ended up not doing too badly. She got into fashion, but she ended up meeting a guy called Martin and married him. And I get the sense that marrying Martin also helped her. Martin works in New York. I think he works in performing arts or an actor or something along those lines, or modeling or something like that. Simi is totally into fashion. That's her work. And she becomes quite stable in this loving relationship, this loving marriage. But, hold on tight. I'm going to tell you more. So that's Simi. Ronke is the most classic Nigerian in behavior and food and everything. She loves to cook. She's a dentist. She has a thriving practice. And she is not doing well in relationships. However, she has this idyllic image of her father who died when she was young, the Nigerian man. And so in her mind, she's looking for this perfect Nigerian man as a husband, because that is her opinion of the perfect man. Her father was perfect in her mind, and he died early in her life. So also when he died, her life went from privileged to barely had enough, no longer could keep up with the affluent habits of her friends, and so on and so forth. So that's Ronke. Her father has a twin sister. I forget her name now, but Ronke is close to the twin sister. Whenever she visits from Nigeria, she spends time with her aunt. Ronke also has a relationship with her mother, the English woman, who separated from this man and returned to Britain. The relationship is strained because Ronke is not happy about how the mother doesn't want any recollection of her late husband. She doesn't quite understand why. So the next is Boo. Now Boo is a tricky personality. I already talked about Boo. I talked about Simi. I didn't tell you much about Boo. I didn't tell you about her family. So Boo is married to a French man, has a daughter, Sophia. The husband is Didier. And she is a stay-at-home mom. She has some education. She has a college degree. I can't remember now in what area. But she's a stay-at-home mom with a single daughter. And she is not a very happy camper. She's always complaining about something. She's complaining about being home. She's complaining about her child, who is totally having age-appropriate behavior, nothing special. She always finds something to complain about. Somebody in my book club says that was her least favorite character, and I agree. Says I wish she was really annoying character. I totally agree with that. So these three young women in their 30s in most of this book are living their lives, hanging out, maintaining their friendship. And then a certain young woman, Isabel, comes in the mix, like literally out of nowhere. Isabel knew Simi as a child. They all together had that privileged upbringing in Nigeria. Now, Isabel, however, came from a filthy, wealthy family. Isabel continued to have all the advantage of wealth and sort of society level and all that. And so she comes into the mix, like literally out of nowhere. She's thrusting herself into the friendship. She's wanting to be the one who's making bonds with everybody. Now, mind you, Simi is the only one she really knows from childhood, but she's now wanting to, or did she know? She might have known Ronke as well. She might have known Ronke in childhood as well. But she is now wanting to be friends with everybody, to know what everyone's business is, to be the trusted confidant for everybody, the coach, if you like, coaching everybody through their problems. And I had an odd feeling about her from the get-go when I encountered her in the book, and it proved to be right. Something was not right. Something didn't seem just okay with this character, like she couldn't seriously just be that nice. She comes in single, and she seems to want to upset the stability everybody else has. And it turns out to be the case, actually, that she really wants to upset the stability. But I'll let you read more about this. This is a book all about friendship. It's all about food. It's all about embracing a mixed heritage, a mixed inheritance, a mixed heritage, and it's all about how something totally good can go totally bad. It's all about secrets and how secrets and poor understanding within relationships can really go bad, and it does end up somewhat nice. There seems to be a happy ending of sorts, some sad aspects and some happy aspects, but whatever the case, I'll stop there and I'll let you read the rest. And I hope you leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about the book Wahala by Nikki May. I look forward to coming back here again to discuss a book with you. And for now, I will enjoy my ski vacation. Take care. Bye.